Hello humans and welcome back to the Tao Way. Today we're going to go into a lower body strength session with one of my good friends and training partners and teacher, Tim. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you for the 1,000 subscribers. Some people might think this is a small achievement, but for me it's very, very big. So to thank you, a few days after this video is released, I'm going to be holding a Q&A. So if you'd like to take part and ask me any questions, you can let me know in the comments down below. Put your question down there, and in a few days I will make that video and release it about a week from today. So I'll make that video in a few days and then release it a week. You can ask me questions on my training, on my life. This is just a chance for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, get to know my credentials, my personal practice, my personal life a little bit closer. And I just want to thank you guys for the 1,000 subscribers. So leave a comment if you have any question, whether it's training related, life related, anything. Okay, so let's get into the video now. Alright, so if you know me, you know we're going to begin with spine. Tim is an advanced student of mine, so we're doing an advanced spinal routine. We're walking back and forth and going through as many of the different spinal isolations that we know. So this is a little bit going into the improvisation. This is one way to do the improvisation. Some movements are harder than others, but we did this for about 10 minutes and then we moved on to the next. This is my camera woman walking across a little beam. And then after this, we went into warming up the lower body. This is a lower body strength session. So we are doing linear knee touches, 10 reps, and a 10-second hold on the last rep on each side, making sure that the knee goes directly over the toes there. Then another warm-up for the hip. This is called a pubu, and the leg is being pushed against the wall, and I'm squatting as low as I can, keeping an upright spine. 10 reps, and then a 10-second hold on the last rep, holding here, warming up the hips, the ankles, the knees, the whole lower body. And here is Tim doing the exact same thing. You can see the differences in form. He is doing a pubu squat with coffee, as you can see. Maybe he's a little bit too reliant on the stimulants, but that's okay. It's pretty good. This is pretty good. Continue to drink the coffee, Tim. Then I'm warming up here with 60 kg, and I'm really trying to focus on the form, especially on the ankle extension. You can see my ankle extension is actually very bad, and Tim pointed this out to me. So this is something that I'll work on in the future. That's why I think it's good to look over your footage. You can see what are you doing terribly and what are you doing not so terribly. And what I'm doing terribly is extension through the ankles. And then we'll see Tim here. He's doing the same warm-up, but now I'm upgraded him to the bar. So we're trying to work on speed here. He's actually getting a stimulus, so he has some weight on there. So now he has a little bit more of an idea of what the clean should feel like. Now with my working sets, I'm doing 185 pounds, which is about my body weight. Honestly, the pathway goes up very good. It's more or less a straight line. I like that, and it goes up fairly quickly. But what I don't like is the ankle extension again. I think I'm getting good knee and hip, but yeah, that's something that I really need to work on. For these in particular, I did 3 reps and 5 sets, resting about 2 minutes. We didn't really time the rest on this one. And then Tim here is now doing the hang power clean. But now he has 10 pounds on each side, so I believe this would be 45, 55, 65 pounds on each side. Nothing heavy at all. We're just working on technique. And then here is my second working set. So I'm trying to fix some errors. That was a bit better in the extension, but still a lot to work on. And Tim actually helped me with some of the position of the hip, so that is getting better as well. And then here is my last set. I rest just a few seconds in between each one. I just make sure I have quality and I don't want to push it too much. I'm just looking for the technical little experience there. Then after those 5 sets, we went into back squats, and we are doing a 5x5. So 5 reps of 5 sets. We're resting about 3 minutes in between each one. And our tempo looks something like this: 3-second eccentric, explode up, and then a 1-second pause at the top. For this one, I'm using 100 kg or 225 pounds. And if you didn't know, I actually have an injury to my left adductor. You may be able to tell I'm kind of leaning on that right leg a little bit, but that injury is getting better and better. It's just going to take some time to get used to, some time to heal, and that's totally normal. Wink. Now Tim's set, he is using, I believe, 185, and he's doing a 5x5. In this workout, he did not get a 5x5, but it's something that he hasn't really worked too often. To be honest, he hasn't worked anything too often. But so I think that this is very good for not working it very often. And you can see he's a little bit weak on the way up, but so am I. That's very normal. I think this set
Thank God we're gonna mute the sound.
What's that?
A little joke towards Tim.
My sound.
And here is my second or third set. I can't really remember. This one goes about the same. There's not really a difference. I did notice from the first set to the second or third set, I felt much more comfortable squatting because we don't do any warm-up with the squat. We go straight from cleans, straight to our working weight, and that's something that I'm experimenting with. So this set feels better than the first set did. And yeah, the bar path is not bad. Sometimes I go up with the hip, like right there. You can see I went up with the hip too early, changing the weights. And then here is Tim's set. You're actually going to see Tim fail. So watch out for this. This is going to be very exciting because Tim never fails. That was a lie. Okay, that's the third rep. I believe he fails on the fifth rep. Let's see if my memory. So this is 4. Yep, he's going to fail on the fifth. So I originally wanted to spot him, so I come behind him. But I know that he's going to let the weight come down, so I just ran away. And that's a very safe way to allow the bar to come off, especially if you're not doing it often. Then after those 5 sets, I did 3 sets of single leg calf raises, and I'm working to do these with no hands, so I'm increasing the balance a little bit. I'm looking for a tempo of about 3 seconds down and at least a 1 second pause. It's changing a little bit because I'm really trying to balance on the way up, on the way down. But this has gone a long way. It took me a long time to be able to balance without using any hands here. So I do 6 reps on the one leg. Then once I hit that 6th rep, then I switch to the right leg and I do another 6 reps. This is an excellent exercise to do post any type of squatting because your ankles are relatively neutral when you're squatting. So now we can work that dorsiflexion and even that plantar flexion and get a little bit of work into the calf. This is a good way to bulletproof the ankle, and I use this very often with my online students, use this very often with me as well. It's an excellent exercise. Then I paired this with Peterson step-ups. If you don't know what Peterson step-ups are, I recommend that you search Peterson step-up and Charles Poliquin and look up the technique to do this. This is an excellent exercise. There are many variations, but basically what we're doing here is we are preparing the knee. So this is a prehab tool or a rehab tool, depending on your injuries, for the knee. I'm doing 3 seconds down, very explosive on the way up, then a 1 second pause at the top. You can see the control. I'm hitting my heel, and I wouldn't say hitting actually, I would say I'm tapping my heel very lightly towards the ground. I'm doing 6 reps on either side, just like the calf raises, so I'm keeping it pretty symmetrical like this. And I do want the knee to go a little bit past the toe. This is totally fine, and this is a good way to condition. And lastly, always, as you guys know if you follow me, I meditate after the session. This was just a quick 5 minutes. We didn't have a lot of time. And I'm doing something called box breathing. This is something Tim introduced me to, and I'm loving it. Basically, I'm going in for 4 seconds, breathing in 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, breathing out for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, and repeating. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Remember about the Q&A. Let me know in the comments down below what your questions are, and I will make a Q&A video next week. And that is the session.